Welcome to Dancing with Time, hosted by Beth Amin and me, Patti Teal. This podcast is all about self-care, inspiring and supporting each other to live our essential nature, which is timeless. I'm not young, I'm not old, I just am. Join us for conversation, movement, and meditation. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the Beth and Patti Show, otherwise known as Dancing with Time, the joy of self-care. And every week we explore a topic about self-care, but not just, getting a pedicure, which I do love, but on the most deep levels of how you experience life. And interestingly enough, Patti, I just was looking at our thumbnail for the show, and I had this quote down there, which was an old title before it was about self-care. It was How to Live the Remarkable Life of an Unlimited Being. And I went, oh, wow. And really what that is, because I've been, working so hard on, not working hard, but really being focused intently on how I create my own quality of life. I realized that that's really just about not being stuck in the negative positive polarities, or the negative experience and shifting it to positive, not being stuck there. It more has to do with that flow, which is the flow of the unlimited being, or the eternal being, or our essential parts and all. So having said that, our topic today is going to be on that dance. Like, how do you transmute your negative thoughts and the negative circumstances that come up all the time into positive forward motion, or the pleasure of life, or, feeling good? So, and just like our thoughts on how we've been dealing with that and what's come up. So, Patti, anything to add to that general subject?
Oh gosh, I would say it's probably, for me anyway, going to be something that I constantly deal with. I don't want to be negative that way and say that, but it seems like there's always things that come up in life. It's part of life that may be a little upsetting or drag you down, but how not to stay there and how to be able to rise back up and be happy again and enjoy the present moment. That's the challenge.
Yeah, and you're so right. It's really constant. I mean,
Mhm.
I've been looking at these things and working with it all my life, and it's just, I've come to realize that it's navigational and it's directional. There's a lots of negative experiences that come up, and we'll have to probably define a little bit what that is for us and what that feels like. But then I realized that once I don't feel good and I see that circumstance, I can focus and reinterpret it and get where my preferences and my direction and where I really want to go. Like having an interaction with someone that I'm seeing romantically, and I start to interpret their behavior in a really negative way. It's not necessarily, I'm looking at taking responsibility for my own feelings and everything. And I can actually most likely look at it in a different way and feel the love that is there, while I look at what is making me feel so bad, and I'm more able to deal with that successfully and not keep going down. Oh, it's just like that downward spiral when you're like on it all the time. It's just like so unpleasant. And we
Yes,
do it as a,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
you say that because I think we can also get in negative patterns with people.
Mhm.
So instead of just appreciating them and seeing the positive side of them, we start to notice all their faults. Or I have been known to do that. I don't think I generally do, but sometimes. And that's not really fair either.
No,
So,
I know. The challenge is they respond to that, for sure. Everybody responds to how you perceive them. So, I mean, granted, some people are, they are toxic, and you have to not have them in your lives once you've learned what they've shown you. But that's another way to not go down in a situation that really isn't for you, is, to know, like, okay, that's enough. I really see they're a reflection of something in me that I need to learn about, or I need to know my boundaries and how not to overgive. And let's try that later. But, you kind of self-preserve in a way that you just know, oh my God, if I go down this trail too many times, I'm the one that's going to feel it. So there's a distinction about who to keep in your life. But in general, I know that people respond totally differently if I look at their good side too. So
So true. Yeah.
yeah. So, I know we had a little pre-conversation about this, which of course I forgot.
I know. What
Sometimes
did we say? I'm
what
sure
we
it was
say,
brilliant.
I'm sure it was because in the moment it's so whenever it happens in the moment. But I just think that this is an enormously important topic because you're not life is not it's not really structured to be like 100% without any little
No, it's not.
rocks or
Hmm.
contrast. It's just not structured that way down here, that because we need to see things and we need to know what we want and what direction
Hmm.
we want to go. And like, if you do have, say, a partner or a lover who is not giving you what you want or pleasing you, you can look at your needs and see, you know, uh, and see where they're coming from. Is there a bottomless pit, like, dad didn't hug you or whatever? Or is it really that you've evolved and you're looking for a different kind of person? So there's this constant self-exploration that goes on in order to keep yourself in that eternal, extraordinary space of the unlimited being that we were talking about. And that's the dance, that's dancing through time. That's that
It is.
dance
It
that we're
is. It's
talking
that
about.
dance. Hmm.
So, what other thoughts? Do you have anything on
Well, it
this?
was something that came back to me that my mother
Okay.
used to say to me a lot
Uh-huh.
when I was going through a hard time, or if anybody was going through a hard time. And I find myself saying it to my own kids,
Uh-huh.
this too shall pass,
Uh-huh.
because we always do go through uh, things. And normally we don't stay upset about them forever. Whatever we're going through, we get through. So that saying, this too shall pass, seems to have a bit of comfort for some people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It will pass. But sometimes you have to, put a little energy into allowing it to pass and not not keeping it,
Oh, that's true.
in
Yes.
your field. In your field. That's a beautiful saying, that's for sure. So I've just been noticing that lately I I've been going through a few more darker places inside of me have been coming up. And by darker places, I mean places where I'm not valuing myself or seeing my worth or feeling happy. And I think it happens it can happen when you're making shifts. Like I'm really shifting my identity right now into someone who is not as driven and works less and allows more help. Like we're having much more help with all our services and everything that we're offering. We have a more beautiful team. And so letting go of being the constant achiever and doer and controller and making it happener person has shaken my identity slightly. So I have to shift where I find my value. And can I find my value in just allowing help? And I find my value in just doing less and just being who I am. And so I went through a little bit of like feeling less worthy until I had the dialogue and figured out, wow, this is actually a remarkable new phase where I can be part of a group uh, mind, and we can come up with so much more, and that will allow me the ease that I do deserve at this time in my life. So that's just kind of sharing a process of kind of a dip, and I didn't like the way it felt. Really, I didn't like feeling like really bad about myself. And so I just said, okay, I could separate that I'm also this more eternal being. I am worthy, essentially worthy by nature. Like, okay, what can we do to process that? And of course, my methods are writing, but really, I think that in the end, where we started, it's a devotion to wanting to feel good in life. And so you see these circumstances as ways to pivot and give you information. So that's probably as much as I gotta say today. So
You're so articulate, but I think also I'm full of these idioms because my mother had so many
oh, it's
things you're
cool. That's
saying are a
sweet.
blessing in disguise. So at first
Oh,
it didn't
yes,
seem like a
that's
blessing, but it
yes,
ended up being so once you
yes,
went through it. Yeah.
yes, that's beautiful, Patty. I
Mm,
love that. It's so true. And
yeah.
it's kind of crazy, like almost everything is a blessing in disguise, if you can look at it that way. I mean, granted we're in good circumstances that allow us that, and so, but
May not seem like it at the time, but it
it
may
may,
end up to be
yeah,
a blessing. Yes.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks again to your mom. Yes. So really, so and it's also that saying, everything's always working out for me. It's that same level of knowledge that everything's always working out for me. And I do realize that I attract un less than pleasant circumstances sometimes so that I can see my inner workings and I can see my direction. But you have to really keep that in mind. That's another real stability in staying
Right.
in that.
And there's growing pains, like it sounds like
Yeah,
you were having real
yeah,
growing pains as you
yeah,
went from being a solopreneur to really an entrepreneur with a whole
yeah.
team of people helping you.
Yeah, yeah, Patty. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's so true. It's growing pains. I just am so grateful the way you put that in such a human context. I just think it's beautiful. Are there, anything you have gone through that recently that is,
Well, the only other thing I can add that I can think of off the top of my head, and we talk a lot about appreciation and remembering to be appreciative for the things
mm-hmm,
that you can be appreciative for, even in the midst of the bad times. But
yeah,
also, I'm really big into journaling.
mm-hmm.
And when I write my thoughts down, it just gives me a sense of peace. So I think that's a really good tool when you're feeling maybe not completely at your best.
Oh, it's so true. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And I wrote like crazy this morning, because of all the, things that I'm like transmuting. Our friend Wendy, who helps us, or is part of our whole collective here, says she calls it alchemizing, alchemizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of use a garden metaphor sometimes. It's like you gotta, like, put the poop on the soil so that the new plants will really
Well,
be
that's
healthy
true.
and come
That's
through
true.
the law of
Yeah.
nature. But it's all that. But the journaling, oh my gosh, and not on the computer. There's something about
Right.
writing
Handwriting.
with your
Mm-hmm.
hand. It's a
Yeah.
direct link to your
Mm-hmm.
heart and your soul. So
Mm-hmm.
really, really great. Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
that we'll continue this topic again. And
Yes.
so, because it's so fruitful and it's so deep and it's so important and it's so the constant practice. So, uh, right, if you feel like we're complete, Patty, I could do the little movement segment.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we
All right.
always do that. We believe that these are the bookends of a fluid consciousness, is movement to move everything through your body. And then Patty gives these beautiful meditations, that you will be able to access. They'll be at the end of the podcast, and also you'll be able to access now through a lot of other channels that we'll be presenting. And I do want to say that I have a membership site coming up. Everyone will be able to join to get dance classes, workshops, Patty's meditations, and so much else to stabilize yourself in this dancing with time dimension. So we will be giving you all that. And there's going to be a lot in the notes at the podcast and then also at the end. So those of you who are just listening to the audio, you can follow along with the short movement segment, with my words, and then listen to Patty's meditations. So here we go. Hello, everyone. Here's our little movement segment. Follow along with me. We're going to do some stretchy moves first, just to get our body in alignment with life force flowing through it. And then we'll do a few little dance moves. So here we go. Let's get started. And as usual, we begin with posture and the breath. So I'd love you to pull your tummy in tightly. Lift your chest, open your shoulders, have your tailbone down a little bit. And now cross your arms and take a nice deep breath in, lifting your arms to the side. Cross your heart, lift, and come down as you gently breathe in, side and down. And now cross your heart, breathe in, lift your arms, and come down. Let's make a complete circle all the way around now through the center of our body as we breathe in and exhale out. Breathing in and exhaling down. Breathing in and exhaling down. Good. Now, make sure you have your tummy tucked nicely and put your arms straight out to the sides. And I'd like you to pull your upper body very gently, side to side, just to begin to open your heart, open your breathing, open everything, open to life. And you can bring those shoulders back a little in a little pulse to start getting the back muscles a little bit more relaxed. And now as we breathe, we're going to circle our arms forward. Notice I'm shifting my weight from one side to the other as I make these lovely circles with my arms forward, both arms, and I'm shifting my weight for a little rhythm. And now we're going to come around the opposite direction from the back forward as I breathe in and I breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Now I'm going to just shift my weight and do a simple step and touch with my opposite foot as I wave my arms in front of me and continue the gentle breathing in and out. In and out and in and out. Lovely. Great job. And now we're going to do a couple of side stretches. So my arm's going to go directly over my side and I'm going to open my side up. You can hold your thigh with the opposite hand. Good. A few pulses there. And then I'm going to reach over with the other arm on over my body so it's on top of my head and alignment with my body. My other hand is on my thigh so I can do some nice side stretches and pulses. Good. Now come on up and I'm going to rotate my entire body from my waist all the way around in a nice big circle, releasing my back. I'm going to go one direction and then I'm going to go the other direction. Very nice. Good. Very nice. And just to warm up our legs a little for our little dance segment, we're going to lift our knees, and if you need to prop yourself up on something for balance, please do. You can also do all of this seated. So just lift your knees, then give me a little kick out, and a little kick to the side, gentle kick to the side. If you can't lift your feet very far from the ground, just a simple touch will also stretch your muscles. Good. So let's take a nice deep breath. Good. Let's kick our legs out, shake them out, shake everything out, and let's go on to our dance tune. It's called I Love Dance. Here we go. We're just going to do another minute of this. Let's get some rhythm. Yeah. So I'm doing a little bounce with my legs. My knees are not locked, but I'm doing a nice little flexible motion. Here we go. And my arms are going up and down from my elbows, kind of like I'm on a little jog. All right, let's try a little simple foot pattern. Step together, step, touch, step together, step, touch, step together, step, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can add a little hips. That's good. You can add a little rotation of the arms. Okay, I can do it really simple. Step together, step, touch, step together, step, touch. I can add a little hip action. I can add a little more arm. Just as you feel. just by gently bending the knees. Good. Let's take a nice deep breath. All right. Good job. We're going to cool that down a little and just take that down a notch. Good. Hold on. Let me get this wild music down just a second here. All right. Good, good, good. We're going to just slow it down a little for a little cool down. Kick your legs up. And let's take a few more lovely deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. I teach this class every week. There'll be a link for you. Half-hour class, we really get into our dance strengthening and flexible movement, but basically joyous movement. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful you were here with us today. Get ready for Patty's beautiful meditation. Thanks.
Lie or sit down in a comfortable position. Take a few well-deserved minutes to relax. Pay attention to your breath. Purposefully relax any parts of your body or face that are holding tension. This meditation is about releasing negativity and opening up to the vastness of your potential. When we face problems, negative thoughts about ourselves and our future are likely to arise. When this happens, don't try to pretend the thoughts aren't present. Be curious about them and identify how they make you feel. If some of your thoughts are negative or worrisome, you may wish to release them. This visualization will help you to consciously let them go. Visualize yourself walking toward a gentle waterfall. Put your hand in the waterfall and feel the force of the water. It's cool, but not cold. Step into the waterfall and let the crystal clear water flow down upon you, over your head and your whole body. It feels soothing, refreshing. Enjoy the water as it flows over your head, body, legs, and feet. It feels so good. You can't help but smile and relax. Notice how calm you feel. Your mind is quiet and peaceful. Allow the fresh water to wash away any thoughts that are not useful to you. As the water flows down upon you, let go of negative thoughts and patterns that keep you from being free to be or do anything that's in your heart. Let any old patterns and thoughts that limit you just wash away. Feel a new sense of freedom and clarity. Your thoughts are positive and productive. Open your mind to the vastness of the universe and trust in your connection to it. You are clear, focused, and peaceful. Feel the positive emotions that arise. In your own time, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes.